For months, Qantas management has been highlighting the problems of Qantas International and talking up the success of Jetstar. The cut-price airline looks more nimble and far more profitable than the older premium airline and is being presented as the model of the future. But the pilots' union says it's found evidence questioning this picture, suggesting Qantas International is subsidising Jetstar and making it look more profitable than it actually is. Qantas vigorously denies the claims, as Connor Duffy reports.
It's been a turbulent year at the national carrier, with fighting words from unions and management edging the company closer to industrial war.
It's difficult to see your career path evaporating day by day, and to avoid not getting very disheartened about all of that.
We want Qantas to be around for the next 90 years. We want Qantas to survive. We have to change in order to do that.
The company's management says change is needed urgently, and its hopes lie with the Jetstar model. Bolstering the case is that Qantas International is losing money while Jetstar is raking it in. But that conclusion is being challenged. The pilots' union asked a Melbourne-based firm of forensic accountants to look at the books. 730 has seen its conclusions.
Qantas contributes 77% of revenue, almost equivalent to its fleet size of 191 planes, or 75% of the fleet. Jetstar contributed 16% of revenue, with 59 planes, or 23% of the fleet.
So Qantas brings in most of the money, yet its contribution to profit is paltry.
Qantas contributes just 14% of earnings before interest and tax, and Jetstar contributes 28% of earnings before interest and tax.
For months now, Qantas employees have argued Jetstar only looks so good because it's being subsidised.
I think you'll find that the Qantas cash cow is supporting the operations of the group. Certainly central treasury, legal, IT, etc. But there's a fair amount of evidence that Qantas is cross-subsidising Jetstar operation.
Qantas management vigorously denies that.
The Qantas Group has a user-pay system where the part of the business which uses the goods and services pays the cost.
Qantas insists Jetstar pays its own way.
Qantas Airlines does not cover labour costs for Jetstar. Qantas Airlines has a robust service level agreements in place with the specific intent of Jetstar bearing the cost for services rendered.
The company declined to speak on camera, but a spokesman said it had rebutted the pilot's report in a meeting with union representatives and the chief financial officer last week. It says any suggestions of cross-subsidisation are unsubstantiated and baseless.
The presentation was a PowerPoint, and we weren't allowed to take it away, and so it just raised more questions than it answered. And they did say that apparently that they weren't cross-subsidising, but the evidence given to us and from other sources is they are or were cross-subsidising. Maybe they're not now.
The forensic examination paid for by the pilots also raises questions about whether Jetstar is getting planes from Qantas on the cheap. Of Jetstar's 51 aircraft registered with the Civil Aircraft Register, 6 are owned by Qantas and leased to Jetstar. The forensic examination asks if they are leased at mates rates.
The fact that the inter-segment operating lease rentals are the same as the depreciation charge suggests that the internal charge for the aircraft used within the group is only based on the depreciation charge.
But Qantas flatly denies there is any sweetheart deal.
In line with the user pays philosophy, both Qantas Airlines and Jetstar pay for the aircraft they operate. If the aircraft is leased, the airline that operates it pays the lease charge. If the aircraft is owned, the airline that operates it pays the depreciation charge.
The mood of the staff at Qantas is gloomy. There is widespread suspicion that Jetstar is being propped up. An insider with knowledge of recent management decisions has given 730 a dozen instances of alleged support. For example, it says,
Bali staff are paid by Qantas despite the airline not operating a service to the island. And all of the JQ executive salaries are paid by QF.
In a statement, Qantas acknowledged the salaries are paid by Qantas, but said they were fully recovered from Jetstar. It also said its books are audited by KPMG. This is more than an argument about accountants. Qantas has regained its future within the ruthlessly competitive world of Asian airlines, and it's using this comparison of the two cost structures to justify its dramatic move. But not everyone is convinced that the story it's been telling is all it appears.
Connor Duffy there, and look out for Qantas to release its full year results tomorrow morning.